Hello and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe, powered by Student Life and Activities. Today's episode number 86 is our SGA candidate forum for 2022. We like to get to know our candidates. Specifically, we make these videos for students who can't attend our events so they can view them on YouTube at a later time. Typically, our candidate videos get hundreds of views the week before SGA election week, which is this week, is the candidate week, and next week, the 18th to the 22nd, is the actual SGA election week. More information on how to vote in your SGA election will be coming to you via your Essex student email from Mr. Graham, Director of Student Life and Activities. We thank you for joining us today. This is one of my favorite things to do. I advise SGA along with Mr. Graham, so this will be the first time I'm getting to know our candidates. I'm going to ask some questions to each candidate. Current President Yolanda Brown is going to ask some questions of each candidate. And then after we're done asking all these questions, you will have a couple minutes to just be on screen by yourself and talk to Essex student body at your will. Say whatever you would like. Let them know why you're running. Let them know what you want to do for them. And thank you for subjecting yourself to this entire student government process. And you're about to get your first dose of student life right now. So let's get into it. Let's meet our 2022 candidates for Essex County College Student Government Association. It is my pleasure to introduce my fabulous co-host for today. She is Student Government Association's one and only president. She was the interim president. She's just the president now. She's riding out the end of it, and she's done a fantastic job so far. So welcome, Yolanda Brown.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ott, for that wonderful introduction. I guess the first thing I'll see, so if you're running for president, as you can clearly see, sometimes you will be the only person who's representing SGA at an event. My exec board members, they could not make it due to other obligations, so that's why they're not here. But as you can see, as president, you will have to be there, even if you're there by yourself. So that's one big thing about being president of SGA. And thank you all for joining us today. And let's get ready to hear these answers, Mr. Ott.
All right, awesome. I hope you know what kind of questions you're asking, because I have no idea. It'll be all improv. So yeah, okay, yours will be good.
Well, some of the Sarah and Paula and they did send me a few questions that they would like me to ask.
Okay, cool. Because I'm going to be asking like, what's your favorite color, stuff like that. So I hope you have better questions than that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we do.
Don't forget to have fun, students, okay? This is serious business, but don't forget to have fun. Because if you do, you'll be in trouble. Okay. We have with us several candidates today running for vice president and president of Student Government Association. We are going to start with our vice presidential candidate. That would be, I hope I'm saying this right, Dami. I'm not even going to try your last name. I'm going to let you come on screen and you can tell us so I don't butcher it. Welcome, Dami. How are you?
I'm good. How are you too?
All right. Now, am I saying your nickname right?
Yeah, say it right.
Dami?
Yeah, Dami.
Dami. Okay. Now, please, just so we know, say your whole name for us.
And my own name is Oluwa Damilola
And your last name?
Ige.
Ige. Dami Ige, welcome to Virtual Cafe. Thank you for choosing to be the voice of your student body. It's a really important job. Vice president is no joke. I'm sure President Brown will have some vice president information to tell you, as she was the vice president before she was president now. So thanks for joining us. So
Thank you for having me.
Of course. My first question to you today is, what brought you to run for Student Government Association? What was it that you saw a flyer, you saw an email, you saw nothing, and you just decided one day you want to run for government? How did you arrive here today with us?
I saw an email from the school, like they're looking for candidates that want to like run for the student government association. So that I came to like
Okay, awesome. And now, had you run or had you served on any type of student government association previously, like maybe in high school or a community program or anything like that?
Yeah, in my high school, I was the student president.
You were the president.
Yeah, I was the
Okay,
president.
awesome. All right, President Brown, you are candidate.
Hi, Demi. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Yolanda. How you doing?
I'm good. So my first question, let me find it. This comes from Sarah. She's our current secretary, and she wanted me to ask, if elected as vice president, what would you do as a leader in your position?
Hey, one of the things I would like to do is to work with the future SGA members to like have something like a school supply drive, like the food drive and the clothing drive that the current student government association is having. Because I feel like some people cannot really afford textbook, pencils, notebooks. So it will be a nice idea to like have a school supplies drive. And another thing I would love to do is to have like public speakers come to the school to like motivate the student, because it's very important. Instead of like want to know that there are people they can look up to, there are people that can motivate them, there are people that are there to like help them in anything they are going through. So I love to collaborate with the members and the professors of the school to like all the public speaking events, and if the professors also have any other people they can invite for the events. So it's going to be a nice thing. And one more thing is the sporting activities of the school. I feel like not everyone is really aware of the sports teams in our school. They're not really aware that there's no any sports in the school. So I would love to like organize an event to like just introduce our sport member and promote the awareness of sporting activities in the school. Things I would love to do.
Thank you.
Demi, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color? Black.
Black. It says a lot about a person. That's my favorite color too.
Well,
I don't have anything else to add on that. Yolanda, you have any other questions for our candidate?
Yes, so the next question will be for me personally. As vice president, you may have to step into the president's role. It could be just maybe they can't make it to an event, and so since the president can't make it, you have to step in. Or it could be, in my case, the president resigned, so as vice president, you would have to step in. So if that did happen, would you think that you're able to step in to the president's role? Would that be something that you're comfortable with doing?
yeah, sure. I'll be comfortable in stepping in to become the president, because as a vice president, I know I have to be comfortable and I have to be ready to take in the role of the president anytime. Something I'm really up to do.
What's your major here at Essex County College, and what do you want to be when you grow up?
My major is engineering, and I hope to be a mechanical engineer when I grow up.
That's excellent. Are you a member of the engineering club on campus?
Yeah, I'm a member of the engineering club. I'm a member.
Awesome. Excellent. President Brown, do you have any more questions for our candidate?
Yes, one more question. So with the VP, one of your main roles, you would be the chairperson for ICC. And ICC is the inter-club council. I believe I said that right. But basically with that, you would be working very close with all the clubs on campus, mainly the presidents or the VPs of their club, organizing a meeting, making sure they have what they need for their clubs, helping them with proposals. So is that something that you will be comfortable in, as having that as one of your main roles, without the president necessarily guiding you? Because as VP, that is really your baby and something that you are in charge with, along with Mr. Ott and Mr. Graham. They will be there to help you, but ICC will be your main focus as vice president.
Yeah, sure. I believe with the help of Mr. L, Mr. Graham, and the future SGA members is something that I'll be able to do. And also, it's also one of my main ideas to collaborate with the clubs to improve those student life and activities in the school, because ever since COVID, the school student life and activities is just trying to like come back and revive. So I would love to work with the clubs to revive back student activities.
That is awesome. Thank you, Dami. All right, Dami, we are going to give you the floor. Okay, we're going to put you on screen by yourself, and you have however long you need to talk to the student body of Essex County College. All right. Just give me 1 second.
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Dami, but you can call me Dami for short. And my major is engineering. And so I wish to run for vice president. Being a student body is something I really love to do. I really love to be able to support and help people in anything they love to, in anything that is affecting them in any way they're struggling. I really love to like work in the interest of other people and everyone. I'm here for you. I'm here for everybody, and I believe we can support each other to make Essex County College a better place. And some of my ideas is to have a school supplies drive, like the like the food and clothing drive that the current association have. So, and also I also like to go for the public speaking idea. I would like to like work with the other members and the professors to invite public speakers to the school so that we could like, that there's anyone to motivate you. And my last idea is to improve the awareness of sporting activities in the school by having events to like introduce the sporting teams and sporting members. And so guys, I'm here for you and only for you. So I want you to please vote for me, vote for Dami, vote for information. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Dami, for joining us. That's Dami Ige. She is running for Vice President of Student Government Association. We are moving on to our next candidate. We are moving on to the position of President. I got to be fair on this one, on who's going first. Okay, I have a quarter here. We have two candidates running for president this year. We have Yadira Rosales, and I know I'm not saying your name right because I heard Miss Ada Torres say it the other day and she nailed it, so I'm going to screw it up. I'm really sorry. Yirelis colon. You're going to correct me on that in a couple minutes, but I'm going to be fair, coin toss. Okay, I'm going to give Yadira heads and Yirelis, I'm going to give her tails, and we'll see who's going first. Okay, heads. Yadira, you're going first. Okay, we have with us candidate for the office of President of Student Government Association 2022-2023 academic year. I have with me again my wonderful co-host, current SGA President Yolanda Brown. We have some questions for you, Yadira, okay? Here we go. Gotta start writing these questions down, Yolanda. Okay. How did you hear about Student Government Association? Why are you here with us today? Why are you running? Did you see an email? Did you see a flyer? Did the feeling just hit you one day and said, I gotta run for student government. I wanna help change things on campus. Let us know how you got here with us today.
Well, I basically ended up receiving an email from, I believe, Mr. Graham, who, makes sense. He sends out these emails. So he sent an email, and I'm somebody who didn't have the typical high school experience. So I was never fortunate enough to join student government. I actually ended up getting my GED. But although I spent my time throughout the years that I was meant to be in high school, and I did end up to a certain extent finishing, just being part of a community, like just being involved in a bunch of different organizations, one of them being Gays Against Guns. It's a very big passion of mine, the Newark Water Coalition. And just throughout the years, I've always known that I wanted to do something to make change. That was such a big part of me. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate in my high school, but that never stopped me from participating in the community around me. So when I got the email from Mr. Graham, I saw an opportunity that I have always dreamt of being part of. And I went for it, and I contacted Yolanda personally, and she advised me throughout all of this, and now I am here.
Excellent. We're happy to have you with us, Yadira. Awesome. President Brown, do you have some questions for our candidate?
Yes, I do. So, Yadira, my first question is, what are the top 3 qualities you think an SGA president needs to have?
From my conversations with you, I believe right now the best qualities to have is consistency, competence, and correct me if this may, I don't know, I'd say empathy and warmth. I think just having that connection with the student body and it being able to continuously, like, even when things get hard, to still have empathy and still want to just, like, out of the goodness in you, just to continue going, like that to me is what being president is.
Thank you.
Okay, my next question for you, Yadira, is, to be fair, what is your favorite color?
Well, I have a chameleon soul. So right now, my favorite color is lavender. I think it's a little biased because Bridgerton season 2 just came out. So I think that's why I'm in love with the color lavender.
I also love lavender, a nice light shade of purple, and it's infused with many different sets that my wife buys, so I smell it all the time. Awesome, lavender. President Brown, next question for our candidate, please.
So here's the question that comes from Sarah, again, our secretary, and she wants to know, what is a problem that you have seen on campus and want to fix, and how would you fix it or try to implement changes to fix it?
So a problem that I have encountered as a student, and I have watched a couple of my peers and just from gathering their thoughts and opinions on it, is the mental health resources. I think that we're doing great, but I don't think that we're doing like enough sometimes. Like we should be doing more, because it's learning to balance your academic and personal life is a struggle that every student is going to face. And when someone is going through in these unprecedented times, going through so much and having a workload, like having, again, I'm going to go back to empathy. Empathy is such a big thing. And let's say, like, for example, you're having a panic attack and you go to a counselor, and being like, just the way the counselor approaches it makes a huge difference. And I think that that's, from my personal experience and other students, that isn't necessarily, it hasn't been great as of the time that I've been there. So the way that I want to go about it is, I've actually reached out to the Dean of Affairs about this. I want to implement better resources, like bringing in nonprofit organizations that can help bring in counselors who are trained, in specific like mental health, like section, like, illnesses sections, like, because mental health is a broad spectrum. It's a variety. Like there are so many different problems that one can face. It's not just, one single thing. So in order to be in like being in a diverse community, you have to have a diverse variety of mental health resources. So I want to help bring that in, as well as implementing the possibility, hopefully this will go through, of pet therapy, which has been statistically proven to help students on campus, like even in once a month, like the midst of once a month, it'll help just brighten up someone's day. And I guess I can statistically be part of that statistic study, because I have an emotional support animal myself, and she is the light of my day. And I know I have friends who go to different colleges and universities who have like volunteers come in like twice a month, and it just brings the community together, and it just helps lighten up someone's day. And I think that just lighten up at least a student's day, like one student, I think that's making some difference, and then continuing from there. So those are some of my ideas.
Excellent, thank you. So tell us about tell us about Essex a little bit. Are you involved in any clubs? Are you involved in any activities? Are you doing anything extracurricular around campus?
I unfortunately was not able to sign up for anything this past semester because I signed up for Spring 2. And as you all know, Spring 2 is quite accelerated and I'm taking over 13 credits. So I'm a bit overloaded, and I have a job as well. However, I do, once I get my GPA this month, as long as I have a specific GPA, I'm sure you guys know, I'm able to join a bunch of other clubs. So hopefully, next fall, I do not take fall too, and I'm able to join, because I would love to. I've seen a good amount of clubs that I was just like, damn it, like I can't right now. I know that I wouldn't be able to give my full dedication and time to it, so I could not, but hopefully next semester.
That's okay. Yeah, students, remember, as enticing as those intersessions and fall twos and spring twos may be, it is a lot of work and it's in a less amount of time. So always keep that in mind. Definitely a lot of work. President Brown, do you have any more questions for our candidate?
Yes, my next question is, if you're elected president, being president of SGA, you will work closely with the administration, preferably Dean Kirkland, who's the Dean of Students, and President Bawaki, who's obviously the president of the college. He really loves SGA. He actually was the SGA advisor, I believe, 10 years before he became interim president. So do you feel comfortable going into a meeting with Dean, say with Dean, it would be Dean Kirkland, President Bawaki, the executive board, Mr. Graham, Mr. Ott. Do you feel comfortable and confident enough to go into a meeting with them, even though they're administration and they're leaders, and bring them the problems that the students have and not feel like you can't really give what you need to give in order to get what you need to receive? I think I said that right. So would you be comfortable in meeting with them? Like, you would meet with them at least once a month. So is that something that you would feel comfortable doing?
I would say yes, and let me just say why. Because I actually, when I was trying to pitch the idea of the pet therapy on campus, I called I called the dean of student affairs like at least 20 times and showed up to his office like 10 times until he saw me. So I think he knows I'm persistent. And I think he knows my name by now because he's received a bunch of my emails. And when he picked up the phone, like to call me back, he was like, yes, Yadira, I have received your emails. I am now getting back to you. So yes, I am comfortable.
Oh boy, Kirkland. I hope Kirkland
That's
sees
good.
this.
Yeah, because I know how Kirkland feels, because I be wearing Mr. Graham and Mr. I know they be like, I know she's not emailing us again. But yeah, definitely. But no, Dean Kirkland is wonderful, and President Boyaki, even though they are leaders in administration, they're very laid back and they're very easy to talk to. And like I said again, President Boyaki, he loves SGA. So usually he tries to go out of his way to help us and get the things that we need.
I definitely am willing to put in the effort and work with them.
Excellent. Yolanda, do you have any more questions for her, or can we give her the floor?
I think I just have one last question. Okay, as president, how's your flexibility? Because as president, they do have the board of trustees meetings, which they really do like the president to attend to read because as president, you will be responsible for typing up the board of trustees report that's due every month. And I believe they meet on Tuesdays at 4:30. They do like for the president to attend to read the minutes. I, unfortunately, due to my work schedule, I couldn't. So is your schedule flexible enough that you would be able to maybe not make every meeting, but some meetings is that something that you would be able to do?
Yes. I am definitely a flexible person. I think something that we all have become because of the last unprecedented 2 years that we've all gone through. I think flexibility is something that we've just, acquired to, and I definitely have learned to be more flexible, specifically the last 2 years. So yes, I am definitely willing to.
All right, excellent. We're glad to hear it. Okay, Yadira, we're going to give you the floor. You can say whatever you'd like to anybody watching at home and is deciding who to vote for this year.
Hi, hi, Essex County students. I am Yadira Rosales, and I am running for president of student government. And some of the key points that I would like to implement on my campaign, which I hope you will see my flyers out soon, are, bringing in better mental health resources for students in order to help you guys balance academic and personal life, as well as just growing as a community and also having fun, which I think after the last 2 years has been quite difficult with COVID and with the unfortunate events that are just happening every day on top of our personal lives that we have going on. It's a lot. So as a president, I hope to be able to implement better resources that will, help you guys just, be able to strive at Essex County, and also help myself because I am a student there as well. So go out and vote for growth, and vote for pet therapy if if you're interested in that. It's awesome. Hopefully I could be a volunteer and bring in my own 2-year-old Siberian Husky. She is great. Her name is Luna, and you will see a picture of her on my flyer. So don't miss that, and go out and vote for growth.
Excellent. Thank you, Yadira. We appreciate you coming on the show and talking to the Essex student body about your candidacy. Okay, and as per our coin flip, we now have our second presidential candidate for the office of Student Government Association. It's my pleasure to welcome Miss Cologne. I'm going to let her tell us how to say her name. Hi, how are you? Tell us right now how you say your first name.
You said it actually perfectly. It's Yirelis. Last name is Cologne, not Colon.
Okay,
The booty.
Cologne. Cologne.
Yes, Yirelis Cologne.
Now, I heard Miss Ada Torres the other day say your name and speaking your praises, and she said Yirelis Cologne. I know that's the accent, but I, at that point, felt that I was saying it completely wrong. So thank you for showing us.
Absolutely.
All right. The first question. So this is Yirelis Cologne. She is running for president of Student Government Association. We're thankful to have her with us today. My first question for you today, like everybody else was, is how did you end up with us here today running for the office of president for Student Government Association at Essex? Did you hear about it from Mr. Graham, or are you here for some other reason?
Well, I first learned about SGA last semester. I was actually trying to run for the position of a treasurer, only because in my high school years, I was a treasurer. It was something that I loved doing. It was something that I loved being involved in. And so when I heard of, SGA and ECC, I was more than happy to go ahead and run. Due to unfortunate circumstances, it was my first semester and I didn't have the proper grade point average to go ahead and run. The position was then given to somebody else. But then after that, I became very good friends with Ms. Yolanda Brown and see the changes that she has made when first and foremost, she was just a VP. So I watched her transition. I watched everybody else in that position, in the office and positions transition. And it became something that I just, saw from far, being a student and actually working in ECC. It was something that I watched grow. And therefore, it brings me now to just go ahead and try to see if I could just run for the great intentions of what Ms. Brown did.
Excellent. Thank you. Ms. Brown, she's speaking your praises. Do you have any questions for this young woman?
Yes, thank you for that. So this question comes from Sarah again, and her question is, what experiences have prepared you for the role of president? How will those experiences impact your leadership?
Well, I would say just being the bubbly person that I am and always looking to see what our student needs, working actually in ECC and being a student. I actually work in the Student Development Center. And what basically transpired me and what just inspired me to go ahead and run was the fact that changing a student's day, depending on what they were coming in for, what services they were coming in. It could be for mental health, for disability health, for career services. It was just changing someone's day. So even just before speaking to a counselor, seeing what their concerns were and seeing how I could be of assistance. The first way I greet a person is, good morning, good afternoon, how can I make your day better? And things like that is what really, changes a person's mood and enthusiasm. So I guess since I'm really good at it and I love it, why not put that passion into just, being a set team with it, having, just having that communication with my peers and being involved in a team where we could all be like that and just change a student's life a day at a time or their mood a day at a time is what made me overall wanted to go ahead and run for this position.
Awesome. Okay, Yirelis. What's your favorite color?
Darn it, why is everybody calling me?
Well, I have two different glows and two different views when I think of colors. So I would say the first would be green and gold, because hello, ECC, why not, And apart from that, on different days where I just want to smile, I would say pink. And I choose pink because it represents breast cancer. And I am a daughter of someone who unfortunately passed from breast cancer.
Look at that. You took my silly little question. You made it incredibly deep and personal. Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Brown, do you have more questions for this candidate?
Yes, thank you. So my next question is, so you probably see now that we are not really large in numbers as far as members. Right now, there's 4 executive board members, and we do have a few general members. So with that being said, how are you able and ready to work with just a small number of people? And is this something that you're okay with doing, or do you need a large group to be productive?
Well, I'm enthusiastic about working with a small number. Actually, for me, the smaller the circle, the more things that get done actually is less of a rubble when it comes to communication, because that's one of the things that ECC lacks is, the type of communication. And when I say that in the sense where not a lot of people may know about SGA. Yes, we do send out emails, we do send out blasts, we do advocate it, we do advocate it, through flyers and things of sort. But not everyone's savvy with computer and technology and things of the sort. So I would say I'm impeccably comfortable with working with a large team. A small team doesn't really matter, just as long as the work gets done, we're all having fun with it, and we all support each other. Most and foremost is just supporting each other. So it doesn't quite matter to me. I'm astounded just to be an honor just to be part of such a group where there's not only just I running a team, we're all leaders. So I'll be okay with that.
Excellent. All right, Yirelis. Were you a member of Student Government Association in your high school, or were you in any type of leadership positions or special activities or clubs, anything in that area in high school?
In high school, I was the treasurer in my student body. I love money. But I basically, ran reports of the budget system in the school. I actually was involved in running a school store for the entire school. And I then had to come up with like a report of, how much money was gained off, what was the profit of it? How much did we end up having to spend on expenses, things of that sort. So I did do that. And I was, in elementary, I was like a president in one of like the elementary schools I did go to. So I was always involved in student body.
Okay, that's good to hear. So yeah, you've been down this road before. All right. Well, welcome to the big times.
Yeah.
Miss Brown, do you have any questions?
Yes, I think I have one. I have one more question. So with being in SGA, and if you were elected president, we know that you're also a student, you're a mom and you work. So so first important is you being a student. So my question is, communication is very important. To speak from the past administration, we had a member who went totally ghost blind on us. We had no idea what was going on or what happened to her. So just for instance, say if something came up and you're not able to meet or anything, or just stop, you can't meet that day, or something is going on in your personal life, you may have to pull back a little bit. Are you comfortable? I'm not saying you're going to have to share every detail of what is going on, but do you think you will be comfortable enough with your executive board and other members to share with them maybe why you're going MIA for a minute, when you'll be back, to let them know what's going on and not just leaving them blind to not know? Yes.
Okay. There is the saying that I would like to say, God always looks for his disciples when they're missing, right? So first and foremost, like, I agree with you 100%. Communication is key. Communication is everything. So in an event that I feel I'm going through troubling times, there is no such thing as, my team having to basically gain or obtain the answers as to why am I going MIA. I think first and foremost, as my team, you're not only my team, you're not only my officers or co-peers, you guys are my family, so if there's troubling times, I feel like, I have to make the necessity to communicate that, especially if it requires me having to go missing for one day or having to call out for, as you would say, an event where I wouldn't be able to make it last minute. I think my team already know about that, based on my enthusiasm, based on my character and the type of person I am. You would sense on a day or on a time that I'm kind of going through something. I just kind of wear it on my face sometimes, so know when your relative is upset. So I think that is very important that I, express that to my team. How would I do that? I would tell my executive members, I would tell Dean Kirkland, I would tell Mr. Ott, Mr. Graham, whoever is involved, and let everyone know as a team beforehand. One of the biggest things I'm capable of doing is even creating a group chat. So that way everybody could express their concerns or whatever things they have going on the group chat, and then just communicate that way. So that way there's no surprises, no hiccups, and no one going missing.
Excellent. That sounds like a plan. We appreciate the communication for sure.
Yes, group chats are very important.
Sure are.
Yes. I think
Hello.
that's the last question that I had, Mr. Ott.
Okay, Ms. Cologne, are you ready to address the student body of Essex?
Let's go. Hello, everyone. My name is Yirelis Cologne. Okay, not Mr. Ott's colon. I'm currently in school for business administration. This is my third semester. I'm running for president for SGA. One of the things, first and foremost, good luck to whomever becomes the runner-up. And one of the reasons why I decided to run for president, besides the obvious number of reasons elsewhere, is I wanted to help students gain the knowledge of what ECC really means, what it really stands for, and how we transition students into a more easier rhythm for their growth and their achievement, right? So one of the problems and obstacles that I've seen as a student basically was, students, when they register, they just kind of come into ECC just wanting to register for their classes, start their classes, and get going, right? But, as time proceeds and, it's time for, discussions to be made based on GPAs or transcripts, students don't really know where to go. And, being not only a student, but actually working in the Student Development Center, shout out to those who are on SDC, love you guys. Part of the, obstacles that I've seen is students coming in and not really knowing who to talk to, where to go, who's involved in their division. And so that's one of the main things I would love to change. When you're under stress, when there's a crisis, when you're going through personal things, as Miss, I forgot her name, but Miss Yadira, our other runner-up, as she has said, Miss Rosales has said, mental health is very important. When you're going through something, you don't know who to talk to, and it's just a lot of pressure, right? So I would like to just basically have meetings, or even just talking to students just in the halls. You can make somebody's day. Just, hi, what's your major? You see someone in the library, in the cafeteria, and just basically just having a conversation with them, and just picking their brain a little bit, see what they know about the college, see what type of help they know is out there, and seeing if they know about their division. you know, being someone that's involved in the business division, I love them all. They, you know, phenomenal chairperson and advisor there. And these are key terms that I'm using: chairperson, advisor, that people really don't, students per se, don't even really know. So one of the things I would like to change is the knowledge that students have for the help and the support system that's offered in ECC. And then I guess also as well as school lunch offerings, you know, finding a way to a healthier diet, a much affordable diet for those low income students that have troubles even, you know, buying a simple snack, a water and an apple might be too much for them. So maybe even bringing in electronic funds benefits, EBT, as, you know, a method of payment, since we could pay debit and credit, just so, you know, we could offer these students the nutrition that they deserve, and, you know, just make it an easier transition for them. It's not only about, you know, graduating ECC and saying, you know, hey, I have a diploma or a degree. It's also about saying, you know what, I went to ECC, I had such a phenomenal experience with ECC, and just advocating ECC for future students that want to come on by, you know, so that's very important to me.
All right, I want to thank Yirelis Cologne for letting the student body know what she's all about, running for president of Student Government Association. All right, that was all of our candidates running for executive seats in our 2022-2023 edition of Student Government Association at Essex County College. If you missed this, you're probably watching it on YouTube right now. So watch this video a bunch of times, get to know these folks, figure out who you're voting for. The election is next week. It'll be April 18th to the 22nd. Check your emails from Mr. Graham. There will be one coming soon with detailed instructions on how to vote. Everyone's always like, we want to thank. I want to thank President Yolanda Brown of Student Government Association for being with me today. She is awesome.
Welcome.
She is like way more advanced and smarter than I am, and I'm grateful to have her around.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you. I am gonna miss you. I'm definitely gonna miss you, and we'll do
I'm
a
gonna
whole
miss you guys too.
we'll do a whole SGA goodbye and all that good stuff, and cry and hug and all that stuff when it gets
Yes.
closer.
Okay, because you know we're all leaving, I believe, except Paula. So very sad.
Oh my God, you're killing me. That's okay, because I met some new people today, and I'm not so worried. I know that you're leaving us in good hands with some good folks.
Yes.
And I like everything that I heard today from all of our candidates. So we're very grateful that you joined us on Virtual Cafe.
Thank you.
Yolanda Brown.
Yes, next Thursday, which I believe is April 21st from 10 to 2, SGA will be having a fundraiser on the 4th floor of the main building. So if you guys who are running for want to come out and see how SGA acts at a fundraiser, please come and join us. Can't be responsible for our actions because sometimes we cut up, but we have fun, and that's the best part. But that's next Thursday from 10 to 2. And also we are looking, hopefully the last day of classes, we're trying to plan something for the students, some kind of bash outside in front of the Dasher Center, but we'll have details on that pretty soon. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, President Yolanda Brown, for doing this today. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. We hope that you and your families are doing well during this time. Continue to stay safe. It is getting warm out soon, I hope. I don't know. Weather's crazy. It's typical March and April. So we hope that you're staying safe. Don't forget to vote in the Student Government Association election next week, April 18th to 22nd. More information in your email. We will catch you next time. And until then, take care.